Welcome to Be in the Garden. Welcome to being in nature. Thank you so much for being here, and as always, for keeping me company. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Today, I'm really just taking a stroll around the garden and tending to some of the winter flowering plants, such as the hellebore. I have a few different varieties of the hellebore around the garden, and I specifically planted these to give the garden colour during the winter time and before the spring. It's a flower enjoyed by the beneficial insects, and the honeybees love coming to this. And it's great to have these plants and to think about other animals and beneficial insects that still need to have access to pollen at this time of year when there are very few flowers around. I'm pruning away some of the leaves of the hellebore to expose the flowers, both aesthetically so that you can see them a lot when you're walking around the garden, but also to enable the beneficial insects to be able to access them a lot easier. It doesn't harm the plant. You can see just by cutting a few of the leaves, it helps to show off the display of beauty. We have mostly burgundy, white and plum colour hellebore in the garden, and over here I specifically put the white hellebore to go along with the white bark of the Jackmontii that you can just see behind. That's the silver birch. I did also plant literally thousands of white crocus in this area, but regrettably it looks as if the squirrels have quite literally consumed the majority of them. It's so joyful just to sit at this bench and admire the garden. The cut back leaves will not go to waste. If I'm not doing a chop and drop, as I often do with many of the plants, which means simply chopping the leaves off and then dropping them just beside the plant or neighbouring plants to cover the soil, in turn those leaves will break down and feed the soil and also act as a mulch in time. I typically cut the leaves, rake them up and add them to the compost. Here we have the camellia. Mine is the alba, meaning it's the white flower. As you can see, the buds are swelling, and it won't be long before they are in full bloom. Sarcococca confusa. If you don't have one of these in your garden, then really the question is why not? It's a great plant for any garden. And I tell you what, it thrives in shady areas. It needs no attention. It really does not need any pampering. So whether you're new to gardening or you've been gardening for a moment, I highly recommend this plant. The bees are actually out already, coming and collecting nectar from this plant. The aroma is second to none. It's incredible. Don't be fooled by the tiny flowers it presents. Though they are so small in size, the aroma more than makes up for it. The aroma is huge. It's a delicate smell, a sweet smell, and it just fills the garden in such a spectacular way at this time of year. The canna lilies. They were a joy last year. All I'm doing here is just cutting back the stalks and the leaves. Chop and drop. Now onto the banana plant. Larger leaves. They've survived the winter so far. In previous years, I've actually protected them by chopping them down to ground level almost and covering them with insulation boxes. I mulch these very heavily throughout the year with grass clippings and lots of compost. But this is the first time I've not protected them in any way. And fingers crossed, I think they'll be okay. I'm just pruning back the leaves. I'm going to just drop them where they are. The dry leaves will break down over time and add nutrients back to the plant. I had a great summer last year, and the banana plant flowered for the first time ever. Not only did it flower, it actually gave me some tiny bananas. When I say tiny bananas, they were tiny. They did not ripen. But the fact that I had some bananas is still something to boast about. It's incredible how much water these plants consume and how much water is held in their leaves and in the plant themselves. But once the leaves dry up, look at what they become. So dry, so crispy, literally like paper. They sound like paper, they feel like paper. It's incredible that this plant was once dripping with water. Nature is just so fascinating. There's never a day I don't learn something in the garden or experience something new. And sometimes it's not that I've not seen it before, it's just at times I'm just stopped in my tracks where I can just be still and see it through a different lens, as if I'm seeing it for the first time. This is the remnants of the bananas. There's nothing of it now. But when I think back to last summer, it's just incredible that this tree that has never produced a flower or bananas before did that for me. I'm grateful. Why not? I'm using the box in which the yew hedges came in as mulching. It's a great idea where possible to use household scraps and materials that will break down into the garden and add structure to the soil, such as cardboard and boxes and newspapers. And so where possible, we just try to reuse things in the garden. The benefits here, as I've said before, is as a mulch, it will suppress the weeds from growing, giving the banana plant more energy to grow. It will keep the moisture in the soil. It will keep it warm through the cold. And it will keep it cool during any heat. It's always a good idea to mulch around plants. Here, I'm just adding some more green that will break down over time. So we've got the carbon from the boxes, the nitrogen from the green, and together they make a wonderful team. I want to take this time to say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being with me in the garden. I do appreciate your company. I hope you're keeping well, and I really do look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Bye for now.